Okay. Okay, wait lang. I-download ko tuloy para mas clear. Okay, yun pag-apply natin ng test of normality, once lang natin yun gagawin. Although, may mga iba na pinakita siya per test, okay lang naman, okay? Pero usually once lang naman siya kasi pareho lang naman yung data na gagamitin natin doon sa 4 na test, yung job satisfaction. Ayan. Okay, nakikita na class? Sige, lakihan ko. Nakikita na po. Okay, class, nakikita na?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so yun first natin, di ba? You're going to compare the job satisfaction between male and female. So, dalawang group. Ito, so pinakita niya yung null hypothesis sa alternative. But before running the test of hypothesis, yun mga comparing the p-value and the level of significance, pinasok na dito yung test for normality. Okay, so makikita naman natin, di ba, our decision rule here is if our p-value is less than 0.05, hindi siya normally distributed. Pero pag if it's greater than 0.05, then it's normally distributed. So your p is 0.028, greater than 0.028. Okay, not normally distributed. Pero dito kasi nag-assume na lang tayo, in-assume na lang natin na yung data natin is normally distributed para magamit natin parametric methods. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, okay, so nag-proceed pa siya sa homogeneity of variances. Although, test of normality lang yata yung na-require ko. Pero okay lang din. Okay, so, naglagay dito ng decision rule. And then yan. Tapos, to continue, di ba, you have your null hypothesis. Okay, na-notice ko, class, may mga nalilito doon sa null saka sa alternative. Pero ang alam ko, nag-provide ako ng PowerPoint na pag null hypothesis, palaging no significant differences. Pag alternative, may significant differences na. Ayan, okay? Okay, although dito kasi, class, sana isa lang, pero pinakita na yung dalawa. Pero for both t-test, ang students t-test kasi gagamitin natin siya pag equal variances, pag homogeneous yung variances, ang Welsh naman pag unequal. Pero dito kasi pinakita for both p-values, our decision here is what? Accept or reject. Pareho siyang reject HO because the level of significance, pareho siyang, okay, wait lang, tingnan na. Accept HO because your p-value is greater, it's not less than 0.05. Okay, so no significant difference on job satisfaction between male and female. Sige po. Kung may gusto pong mag-question, mag-ano lang po ngayon. Now is the best time. Ayan, okay? Okay, and on job satisfaction naman sa job status, nagbabago ba ang p-value, ang value ng Shapiro for each test? May I ask the other students? Actually, once lang mag-run ng ano, pero ang ano ko dito is dapat isa lang yung value niya sa Shapiro. Nagbabago kasi dito yung result ng Shapiro is 0.028. Pero dito, ba't kaya nagbago? Ay, hindi dito. Yung Shapiro niya is 0.115. Sige, may I ask the comments of the class? Okay, sige, i-run tuloy natin para okay, sige po.
Sa akin.
Ano yan?
Nagbago din po sa akin, ma'am. Same lang po kung ano siya.
Nagbabago siya every time na mag-ano?
Opo.
Sige, alam mo alam ko kasi once lang pwede mag-run ng Shapiro. O sige, kasi pareho lang naman yung data. Anyway, sige, okay lang. Okay. Sige po, ano yun?
Hello po, ma'am. Siguro po, ma'am, because nagbago po siya dahil po yung job description, ano nga po ba yun? Yung job
status.
Status po ay pinag-compare po sa gender, hindi po, yung pong job satisfaction score ay pinag-compare according to job status, to gender, and yung last po ay educational attainment po.
Kasi iba na yung grouping, iba na yung data niya per groupings. Okay? Iba na yung data niya per groupings. Okay, sige. Okay, sige, gawin na lang natin yan. Kasi kala ko, ang practice ko talaga is once ko lang siya nilalaan. Sige, at least we learn, I learn from the, from you guys. Okay, so dito, lumalabas na your data is normally distributed when categorized according to job status. Okay, so pareho lang din yung null hypothesis. Okay, no significant difference. And then, ang lumabas dito na p-value is, okay, pag nakita nyo na less than 0.001, ibig sabihin, palagi siyang significant. May significant differences yan. Palagi siyang reject HO. Okay? Actually, di ba, usually, kino-compare lang natin siya sa 0.05. Pero pag nag-less than 0.001, ang implication yan, highly significant ang difference. Pag nag-less than 0.05, usually ang conclusion natin dyan may significant difference lang. Pero once na ang lumabas sa p-value is less than 0.001, the difference is highly significant. Okay? Okay, so hopefully yun iba pareho din yung sagot natin. Okay, ang job satisfaction and educational attainment, okay, so in-specify na kasi that there's no significant difference among college degree, MA, MS units, and master's degree. Okay, pareho din din. So, ang lumabas sa Shapiro is normally distributed ang data. So, usually, di ba, pag normally distributed ang data, validated ang paggamit natin ng parametric methods. Okay. Ayan, so this one, the result of Levene's and Bartlett's shows that equal yung variances natin. Kasi may choice tayo dun sa ANOVA pag equal saka not equal ang variances. Ayan, so ang lumabas sa result natin is, okay, highly significant ang differences. So usually, di ba, if you recall, pag may significant differences in ANOVA, i-result ng analysis of variance natin, we proceed to conducting the post hoc. And if you look at the post hoc, isang pair lang naman ang may difference doon. It's between BSAB and master's degree. Okay. So pag ganito, class, ang suggestion ko na lang, ipakita nyo pa rin yung descriptives. Ibig sabihin ng descriptives, pakita pa rin natin ano yun mean ng job satisfaction ng BSAB, MAMS, saka master's degree. Merong command dun sa Jamovi na you can click yung descriptive table para pag nakita natin na may difference between BSAB saka master's degree, makita natin yung value nila specifically. Okay, hindi na kasi natin dito. Hindi natin alam kung ano yung mean job satisfaction ng undergrad tapos nung MS-MA units. Okay, ayan. And then lastly, on job satisfaction and length of service. Okay, so ang result ulit ng Shapiro shows na your data is normally distributed. So again, this allows us the use of your analysis of variance. So ang lumabas naman dito is, okay, highly significant ulit, and then we proceed to post hoc. Okay, so makikita natin dito na may difference sa job satisfaction between 16 to 23 years old, saka 8 to 15, and between 24 to 31 and 8 to 15 years old. So the rest of the pair nung groupings natin have no significant differences. Just make the corresponding interpretation. Okay? Ayan. So idagdag ko lang, if you want to have a copy of this, just ask from Michelle Constante. Tapos kung gusto niyo sa kanya magpaturo, kasi may mga iba kasi kulang yung pag-run nila ng test of hypothesis. You can just ask a copy from her. Okay? Tapos, yun na lang, idadagdag ko na lang dito sa t-test saka sa ANOVA, when you present your result, pakita nyo yung descriptives para pag nag-compare na kayo, makikita nyo alin ba dito yung mas mataas, alin dito yung mas mababa. Okay? Ayan. Sige po. May mga questions sa class, questions or clarifications before I start with my discussion? Okay, so yung shinare ko na data, pwede na nyo na siyang i-open before you open your Jamovie. Okay. Sige, open nyo na yun. Please open your Jamovie and then please, at the same time, openin nyo yung Excel. Okay, may mga iba class na may problem dun sa in running the Jamovie. One of the common problems is, ma'am, hindi ko po nara-run your data or ma'am, hindi po na-open yung Excel data. Ang suggestion ko niyan, yung data nyo, yung Excel nyo, i-open nyo muna before you open your Jamovie. Kasi may mga cases na pag yung Excel data nyo, maraming sheets, maraming data dun sa ibaba, minsan yung Jamovie, hindi niya alam kung alin dun yung i-import niya na data. So, kung ano initially yung inopen mong sheet, for example, this one, inopen ko na itong sheet na to, although wala naman tayong data sa other sheets, automatically, pag nag-open po kayo ng Jamovie, yun din yung i-import niya na data. Okay? Ayan. So, open ko yung Jamovie. Hindi ko alam kung saan ko ito sinave. Okay, ayan. Ayan. So, unahin ko lang yung sa non-parametric. Although may background na tayo sa parametric methods. Okay? So, when ulit natin ginagamit yung parametric methods? Class? Sige, anybody?
Normally distributed po.
Ayan. Okay? So, usually, di ba, ang assumption check natin is test of normality. And then, pangalawa na lang yung homogeneity of variances. Pero usually, ang inuuna natin is test of normality. Kasi, this is one of the important assumption of your parametric method. We only apply parametric if your data is normally distributed. Second, assumption would be, dapat yung data natin is quantitative or continuous, either interval or ratio. Okay, so dito sa data natin, actually, ang difference lang nito dun sa data set nyo sa parametric is may dagdag tayong variable, yung job performance yata. Okay, so you have two quantitative here, the job performance and job satisfaction. Okay, so una, check muna natin yung test of normality ng dalawang quantitative natin. So dito sa statistics, i-uncheck ko na muna yung mga mean kasi ang kailangan lang naman natin yung Shapiro. Okay, sige, pwede na natin i-check yung mean sa median and then check natin yung Shapiro. Again, sabi natin, di ba, ang Shapiro, ina-apply natin siya if your sample size is less than 30. Pero, pwede rin naman kayong gumamit ng other test of normality, which hindi ko naturo sa inyo last time. Meron kasi tayong, initially, yung Jamovie natin na ginagamit nyo, pag bagong install pa lang yan, Shapiro pa lang ipapakita niyang test of normality. Pero may other test of normality na nag-a-appear sa ibang test. Dito kasi nasa exploration muna tayo na part. Okay. Ayan, so ipasok natin, ipapasok ko yung dalawang quantitative, yung job performance score saka job satisfaction. Okay, so makikita nyo dito sa my right side, ang Shapiro p-value ng job performance is less than 0.001. Ang job satisfaction naman is 0.160. So generally, yung job performance is not normally distributed. Ang job satisfaction normally distributed. So if you recall, yung ginawa natin activities sa parametric method, ang ginamit natin is the job satisfaction. Kasi assumption natin dito is your data is normally distributed. Pero what if class, na kunwari yung data na ginather niyo, quantitative siya, pero lumalabas hindi siya normally distributed. Kasi pwede nyo siyang ma-encounter pag gumawa na kayo ng mini research ninyo or mini survey. So wala namang problema doon kasi 'di ba one of the requirements sa mini research is an application of parametric. Pero hindi ako very strict doon. Once na hindi niyo na-satisfy yung test of normality, kunwari hindi normally distributed yung data, then you can use non-parametric, yung non-parametric counterpart. Okay, so for example, itong job performance ang gagamitin natin. Okay, job performance ang gagamitin ko between male and female. So pag job performance class, okay, ayan. Yeah, ito po yung non-parametric counterpart ng t-test natin. Okay? So pag t-test dependent, independent, we use the Mann-Whitney. Pag t-test dependent, Wilcoxon. Sa one-factor ANOVA naman, okay, just ignore itong Friedman. Yung ginamit natin sa last activity is one-way ANOVA. Ang non-parametric counterpart niyan is the Kruskal-Wallis. Parehas man lang kayan ang pag-running data and then pareho din naman yung decision rule niya. Okay, let's go back to Jamovi. Okay, yan. So for example, magko-compare ako ng job performance. Take note, job performance is not normally distributed. So if I'll be comparing the job performance between male and female, punta pa rin ako dun sa t-test independent. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, ipapasok ko yung job performance as my dependent and ang grouping variable ko would be gender. Yan, pasok ko lang siya dyan. Okay, tapos ito kasi class, default siya sa students t-test. So since hindi nga siya normally distributed, all you have to do is just uncheck that one. Tapos check nyo yung Mann-Whitney kasi Mann-Whitney is the non-parametric counterpart of your t-test. Ayan. Tapos ito yung sinasabi ko last time na i-check niyo yung descriptives. Ayan. Okay? So tingnan niyo tong right part. Or sige. I'll just open. Okay, mag-open na lang ako para makita natin clearly yung result nung non-parametric counterpart ng okay. Ayan. So makikita niyo, ma'am, bakit po ang lumabas independent sample t-test? Pwede nyo kasi hindi na kasi siya magbabago doon sa Jamovi once na ang ginamit mo is Mann-Whitney. So if you're going to provide this screenshot sa appendix part ng research niyo, palitan nyo na lang siya. Okay, palitan nyo na lang sa taas ng Mann-Whitney. Kasi nga naka-default siya sa ganyan. Mann-Whitney test. Tapos ito pwede niyo na tong tanggalin. Kung ilalagay niyo sa sa tawag dito sa appendix part niyo. Ayan. Tapos class, anong difference? Ma'am, ano pong difference pag ang ginamit namin is non-parametric saka parametric? Usually, parehas man lang ka ng pag-interpret. Okay? Dito ang p-value niya is 0.014. So, do we accept or reject HO? Yeah, sige. Decision rule is if 0.05 is greater than the p-value, there is significant difference. Otherwise, there is no significant difference. Sige po. May significant difference po or wala? Ulitin ko
Reject.
Okay. So, yan. So, we reject HO. So, may significant difference. Usually, parehas man lang ka ng pag-interpret na the result of Mann-Whitney test revealed that there is significant difference on the job performance score between male and female. Okay, pero this time, since non-parametric tayo, if you recall, di ba, pag non-parametric, usually, ang data natin is not normally distributed. Kung sa parametric, we compare the mean value. Pag non-parametric na, ang i-compare na nindo dyan is the median. Okay, median na po ang i-compare dyan, bako ng mean. So when you interpret, titingnan nyo yung median, the median of female, median score is 83.6, mas mataas siya sa male. So we can conclude na mas mataas ang job performance score of female compared to men. Okay? So data lang to hindi ko alam kung totoo to or hypothetical. Baka may lalaki tayo. Anyway, ayan. So median ang basis natin for your analysis using the non-parametric method. Ayan. Okay? So parehas din yan class, kunwari nagamit ka mo ng ANOVA. Pag ang lumabas sa ANOVA, sige, run tayo ng data na 3 groups. Tapos using job performance ulit. So, ANOVA. Actually, nandito na siya sa baba. Pero, tingnan ko, parang may... okay, sige. Anyway, sige. Sige, magko-compare ako ng job. Ano nga yun? Job performance score ulit. Tapos, educational attainment. Kasi this has 3 groups. Okay? Pero ayan. Okay. So initially, makikita nyo sa right side na ang ginamit ko si analysis of variance. Pero di ba sabi natin, tingnan natin normality test. Ayan. So, take note, ang Shapiro, sabi sa Shapiro, although ang Kolmogorov. Anyway, sige. Shapiro sa Anderson Darling, pinapakita niya na hindi normally distributed. Anyway, ignore na lang natin yung Kolmogorov. Okay, hindi siya normally distributed. So, okay na. So, ibig sabihin, hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit ng one-way ANOVA kasi ang one-way ANOVA is for parametric method. Pero, kaya ko lang siya inopen dito kasi walang descriptive table dun sa Kruskal. So, hindi natin makikita. So, ibig sabihin, hindi tayo gagamit ng one-way. Ang gagamitin natin would be tawag dito, Kruskal-Wallis. Yan. Yun na nga. Kaya tayo pumasok muna sa one-way ANOVA para lumabas yun sa descriptive. Itong value ng mean score. Pero since ang lumabas is mean, sige, magbabago tayo. Okay lang. Sige. Kukuha ko ng bagong, ulitin natin. Okay, so we start dito muna tayo sa descriptives. And then, pasok natin yung job performance sa variable. And then, ano nga yun? Educational attainment ba yun? Ayan, tama. Educational attainment split by. Tapos, okay. And then, ang gusto ko lang makita is, okay, although gagamit tayo non-parametric, pakita pa rin natin mean niya. Although, ang concern lang natin sana is the median. Tapos, babaguhin ko lang yung pag-ayos ng table. Okay, gagawin kong ganyan. Ayan. Okay? So, meron na akong descriptives before I run the data sa Kruskal. Kasi sa Kruskal-Wallis kasi walang feature doon na makikita natin yung mean or median values nitong tatlong groups. So, initially yan. So, okay na siya. And then, pupunta na ako sa Kruskal-Wallis. So, ANOVA, if you click this one, may makikita kayo dito sa baba, one-way ANOVA, Kruskal-Wallis. Ayan. So, ulitin ko lang nga, Kruskal-Wallis is the non-parametric counterpart of ANOVA or analysis of variance. Okay. And then, educational attainment. Ayan. Okay. So, yan ang lumabas, class. Sige po. Ang p-value is 0.194. Tingnan natin data. Okay, ang median value niya, ang BSAB 81.8, ang MA 85.4, with masters with MA units 83.6. Okay. So walang, kahit na numerically, sasabihin natin, ma'am, mataas po yung MA graduate. Pero ang lumabas sa statistics natin, no significant difference. So, wala siyang significant difference. Kahit na numerically, ang lumabas is mas mataas ang MA graduate. Okay? Okay, so di ba ang P natin is 0.194. Okay, so 0.194. Snip ko na lang para mas madali. Ayan. Okay. Yan. So, pag ang lumabas po is ang p-value natin 0.194. Okay, do we accept or do we reject? Accept or reject?
Accept.
Okay, so accept. Kasi ang HO natin is there is no significant difference on the job performance among the 3 groups. So, since wala tayong significant difference, huwag na tayo mag-proceed sa post hoc. Kasi, wala naman significant difference. Okay? Magpo-proceed lang tayo sa post hoc kung may significant difference. Pero, just in case may significant difference, ma'am, meron po bang post hoc na counterpart pag non-parametric? Meron. Okay? So, ulitin ko lang ulit, class, pag pick copy nindo ni sa appendix, tanggalo na lang nindo ning one-way ANOVA. Editable man siya pag na export na si output ng Jamovi. So, ano po ang counterpart ng post hoc? So, sa lower part nung Kruskal, may mahihiling ka mo dyan, DSCF pairwise. I-check lang nindo yan. Pero syempre kaya maluwasig di may significant difference ta Anyway, yan ang ano niya. Nakita niyo sa my lower part, DSCF. That is the non-parametric counterpart of post hoc. Okay? So maraming din nakakaaram kaya na ugaparan post hoc test ang non-parametric. Okay? Kasi minsan hindi minsan. Kasi may mga yung mga popular na softwares ngayon, SPSS, usually ang post hoc nila parametric lang. Ang Jamovi, napakita niya dito yung post hoc counterpart ng non-parametric, which is the DSCF. Hindi ko ano kaya ibig sabihin ng DSCF hindi siya masyadong madaling ma-pronounce. Yan. Okay? So yan lang para madali natin siyang para just in case ang data nindo ba pong normally distributed, then you have your non-parametric counterpart. Okay. So let's proceed to correlational. Madali lang naman to. Okay? Ayan. So sa correlational, okay, correlation is a measure of direction and strength of linear relationship. So dalawa po ang bine-measure niya, direction and strength. So usually ang value kang makukuatang if you will be running the correlation analysis, may value siya which could either be positive or negative. Your direction gives us the indicates if it's positive or negative. The strength could either be, it tells us if the relationship is perfect, strong, moderate, low, zero, or no correlation at all. Okay? So, correlation between two variables does not prove, okay? Hindi siya causal, okay? Hindi siya causal. For example, usually kasi diba, ini-interpret natin as X increases, Y also increases. Pero yung pag-increase ng X is not because of the increase in Y. Okay? So, hindi siya causal. So, kung ang test ninyo is you want to know the cause, ito ba factor ba to is variable X a factor of variable Y? Hindi po correlation na ginagamit natin dyan. It's regression. Okay? Just to make it clear. Just to make it clear. Hindi siya causal test. Correlation is not a causal test. Okay. So, it's a quantifiable relation between two variables. So, pwede pala natin malaman, ma-quantify kung in terms of strength, yung relationship ng dalawang variables. And this can be explained by your correlation coefficient or your R. Okay? Pearson correlation coefficient or R. Okay? Symbol niya is R. So, nagre-range lang yan from -1 to 1. Yung positive or negative show us the direction. Yung value niya gives us the strength. Okay? Usually sa correlation, it's a linear relationship. Ayan. Tanggalin natin to at may nakaharang. Okay, so pag closer to 0 daw, it's a weak relationship. Habang lumalapit siya sa 1, it grows stronger. Okay? Usually pag 1 siya, flat na 1, it's a perfect relationship. Pero usually naman, sa mga data, rare lang na nakaka-arrive tayo sa perfect relationship. Pag ang correlation coefficient natin 0, anong gustong i-imply niyan? Okay, una, pwedeng walang correlation between X and Y. Walang linear relationship between X and Y. Wala silang, hindi sila directly proportional. Restricted range on X and Y. Or pwedeng may outliers tayo. Again, ang Pearson correlation specifically is used when your data is normally distributed. So, pag nagkamali ka, hindi mo na tinest for normality yung data mo, tapos nag-Pearson correlation ka, ang lumabas is walang relationship. Pwede ang isang factor dyan, ang isang reason dyan would be the presence of your outliers. It's possible na yung data mo is not normally distributed. So, again, you have to check the test of using the test of normality. Okay. So, these are the different interpretation of your correlation coefficient. Okay, pakita ko muna to. Ito usually yung ginagamit natin. Okay? Okay, so dapat sige, pwedeng pa-screenshot kasi may activity kayo later. Na very, very short lang naman. Nabi-base natin dito. Sige, pa-screenshot tapos kung pwedeng pa-post doon sa GC para may guide yung iba nating ano. Kasi ang alam ko yung may mga iba tayong classmates na walang laptop. Cellphone lang yung gamit. Sige, pa-screenshot tapos pa-post po doon sa GC. Ayan. So ito usually yung basis natin. Ano? Pero sa ibang field of science daw, iba yung mga interpretation nila. For example, igni nga sa kunwari igdi sa psychology. Ang range kang strong relationship nila is from 1 to 0.7. Okay, whereas pag sa mga political science, ang strong relationship, ang 0.4 papuntang 1, strong relationship yan. Pero sa ibang field of science, yun, pag nag 0.4 ka, between 0.4 to 0.6, it is interpreted as moderate. Okay? Sa medicine naman, iba naman interpretation, iba naman ang range na fina-follow nila. Okay? Ma'am, saan po yung education? Okay, ito na lang gamitin ninyo. Ito kasi nakuha ko lang to dun sa isang conference na inattendan ko. Okay, inano siya. Kinategorize siya according to psychology, field of science and politics, saka medicine. So sa atin, ito yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Ayan. Okay. So usually class, pag nag-apply kayo ng correlation, hihingan kayo ng panelist niya ng scatter diagram. Okay, para lang makita yung relationship kung directly proportional ba siya or indirectly proportional. Usually class, pag negative yung value, itong mga nasa lower part, indirectly proportional yan. Ibig sabihin, habang nag-i-increase nga si X, si Y nga yan nag-decrease. Unlike dun sa taas na figure natin, it's directly proportional. Ibig sabihin, habang nag-i-increase si Y, si X nag-i-increase din si Y. Or habang bumababa si X, nagdi-decrease din si Y. Okay? Pag negative, it's indirectly proportional. Pag positive, directly proportional. Ayan. So, explain ko ulit kung paano mag-interpret ng correlation coefficient. Okay, yung sign natin, binibigay niya kung positive or negative. Positive, directly proportional. Pag negative, indirectly proportional. Ayan. Okay? Ayan. So, absolute value of the correlation. Pag kinuha na natin absolute value, dyan na lumalabas yung strength of relationship. Okay? Okay, how do we interpret this value? If your correlation coefficient is 0.85, what do we have? Sige, anybody? Okay, salamat, Isay. Sige, if your R is 0.85, what do we have? How do we interpret this correlation coefficient? Just base it on your table. You have a?
Very strong positive correlation.
You have a very strong positive correlation. Okay, who is this? Sino to?
Mary Ann po, ma'am.
Mary Ann. Sige, thank you. Okay, nag-recite na si Mary Ann, hindi na siya pwede dun sa susunod. Okay, when you state your answer, when you give your answer, state first your name and then give your answer. Sige, anybody na lang. Siguro pauna na lang kasi I cannot see the kung sino yung nasa class right now. What about this one, negative 0.69? How do we interpret this?
No, ma'am. Strong negative correlation.
Okay, you are?
Don Bragais po.
Okay, Mr. Bragais. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bragais. Okay, next. What about this one? Negative 0.37. Yes, anybody?
Weak negative correlation.
Hello
Sige.
po.
Yes, please state your name first.
Cindy Garrido po.
Okay, hi Ma'am Cindy. Yes po, ano pong sagot natin?
Positive correlation po.
Positive, are you sure?
Ay, negative. Sorry po, ma'am. Negative.
Okay, so it's weak negative correlation.
That is weak negative correlation po.
Okay, sige. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, sige. Next po.
Ma'am, Rain and Shine po.
Yes, your name, please.
Rain and Shine po.
Okay, sige. Ano pong sagot natin?
Very weak negative correlation.
Okay, very weak negative correlation. Okay, next.
Ma'am
Yes?
Agnes Valenzuela po.
Okay, Miss Ma'am Agnes, ano pong sagot natin?
Very weak positive correlation po.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, next.
Hi, ma'am. Jessa po.
Hi, Jessa. Okay, sige. Ano pong sagot natin?
Weak positive correlation po.
Okay, so 0.32 is weak positive. And then I think this is the last number. Okay, last number would be R is correlation coefficient is equivalent to negative 0.92. What do we have here? Negative 0.92 is
Weak negative correlation.
hindi siya weak. Negative
Very
0.
strong.
Okay, negative 0.92 is
Very strong negative correlation.
okay, it's very strong. Sino to?
Moso po, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Mosa. It's very strong kasi 0.9. Malapit siya sa negative 1. Okay? If you get the absolute value, it's near the value 1. Ayan. Ay, meron pa ng isa. Okay, 0.75 is okay. Sabay-sabay na tayo sumagot for the last number. You have A?
Strong positive correlation.
Okay, strong positive correlation. Okay, so palaging ganun na when you interpret, we show us the direction and the strength of correlation. Madalas class sa mga journal articles, mahihiling lang nito yun si strength of relationship lang. They may mention kung positive or negative. Ayan, okay? Okay, so this is the scatter plot. We can skip this one kasi regression na to. Okay. Usually class, sige, meron ako dito isa pang PowerPoint. Usually class pag yung data natin is normally distributed, ayan, ito na lang. Okay, nakuha ko rin to sa training na inattendan ko. Okay, yan. Pag ang data natin is pareho, basta kailangan pareho siyang quantitative. Okay? Pareho siyang interval or ratio. Pag pareho siyang interval or ratio, ang ginagamit natin dyan is the Pearson. Itong nasa may lower right, Pearson product. It's the most popular correlational method. Otherwise, pag meron ng both ngayon nominal, ang ginagamit din dyan, phi correlation. Pag ang saro ngayon ordinal, ang saro nominal, that's gamma correlation. Pag ang saro duman sa data nindo is numerical, pero ang saro ngayon ordinal, ang gagamitin ta dyan is Spearman. Okay? Spearman correlation. Ini class, pwede nindo siyang i-cite kasi meron tayong ano dyan sa baba. Okay? Ayan na. Pero ma'am, bakit pang i-discuss natin Pearson lang or Spearman lang? Kasi in other correlational methods, those are rarely used naman. Pero at least alam natin kung ano yung gagamitin natin na correlation methods pag hindi na siya ordinal or hindi na siya continuous. Okay? Sige, let's go to your... sige, bago tayo mag-jam movies. Tapusin ko lang to. Ayan. So, ito. So, may dalawa lang tayo. May isa lang ako ditong data na present. Average number of study hours saka grade in statistics. Pareho siyang continuous. And then, ang assumption dito is normally distributed. Pareho yung data. Okay. So, kung lumabas is, okay, 0.80, hindi ko sinabi na very strong positive. Sabi ni ma'am, ilagay daw yung direction. Anyway, sige. It's interpreted as very strong relationship. And then, okay, aside from the correlation coefficient, kasi meron pang additional test dyan. Sasabihin, pinapakita natin kung significant ba siya or hindi. Usually, p-value. Pareho pa rin naman yung rule. Significant ang relationship if 0.05 is greater than the p-value. Otherwise, it's not significant. So, anong gustong i-imply pag significant? Usually, class, yung mga weak pataas, significant ang lumalabas na correlation dyan. Tapos yung mga very weak, usually hindi significant ang correlation. Suppose ang result nung pag-run natin ng correlation between study hours and grade in statistics is 0.80. Paano natin i-interpret yung correlation? Ano ibig sabihin ng significant? Okay, what does significant correlation implies? And how do we interpret? Ito kasi additional na lang to. Ang coefficient of determination class, ini-square lang natin yung correlation coefficient. Okay? So, there is such a thing as coefficient of determination pala. Pero ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag ini-square ko yung correlation coefficient, ang lumabas is 0.64. What does it mean? Okay? Sige, isa-isayin natin. Ibig sabihin, Okay, there is a very strong positive relationship between study hours and grade in statistics with a coefficient of 0.80. That's how you interpret your correlation coefficient. The correlation is significant. Ibig sabihin, it can be concluded that study hours is significantly correlated with grade in statistics. So, pwede, kumbaga, hindi lang siya applicable doon sa data mismo. Applicable din siya sa real life. Okay, na talaga, na given this, pag iba na yung population natin, mapuprove natin statistically that study hours is correlated with grade in statistics. Okay, yung coefficient of determination naman na 64 or 64%, ang ibig sabihin nito, 64% of the variation in grade in statistics is attributed to study hours. Ibig sabihin, yung study hours mo, nag-contribute siya ng 64% nung variation dun sa grade in statistics. So, kung ano man yung naging grade mo sa statistics, 64% of that is contributed by your study hours. The rest, yung 36%, hindi na natin alam kung ano yun. Okay? So, pwedeng other variables na or other factors na ang nakapag-contribute doon. But 64% of that is attributed to the study hours. Okay? So, yung R squared or coefficient of determination explains the impact or effect of study hours or grade in statistics. Actually, class, ang R squared kaya, nalaog na siya sa regression. Usually, if you will be running your data sa test of correlation, hanggang correlation coefficient man lang kita. So, dinagdag ko man lang ini. Okay? If you want to proceed to regression. Ayan. Okay, so another example would be this one. Okay, the owner of a chain of fruit shake stores would like to study the correlation between atmospheric temperature and sales during the summer season. A random sample of 12 days is selected with the results given as follows. So, pig, correlated ang temperature sa sales. Ayan. Okay, so these are important points to consider. Okay, sabi ko, na-mention ko na to kanina, correlation is not causation. It doesn't mean na si pag-increase ka itong X is caused by Y. But if you want to know if Y is a factor of X, if Y causes the increase in X, then you need to run your data sa regression. Pwede naman kayo mag-proceed sa regression. Okay? Okay, so for example, kunwari ang lumabas class is may positive correlation between teachers' effectiveness and students' performance. Okay, how do we interpret this one? May correlation ang teachers' effectiveness sa students' performance. Kasi di ba ang pagkakaintindi natin ng correlation, mas mataas ang performance kang estudyante. Habang nagtataas ang performance, habang nagtataas ang effectiveness kang pagtukdo kang teacher, nagtataas man ang performance kang mga estudyante. Pero in correlation, how do you interpret that? Sige nga, anybody, how do you interpret a positive correlation between teachers' effectiveness and students' performance? Na hindi natin, na ang statement no is hindi siya magpapakita ng causal relationship, ng cause and effect relationship. Sige nga, anybody from the class? Sige, magtatawag tayo ng isang representative sa male and then isang representative sa female. Pero parang isa lang yata ang ano natin sa male. Si Mr. Bragais lang yata. Andi dito ba si Mr. Sino nga yung... Wait lang ha. Si ma'am talaga. Wait. Okay, andi dito si RJ. Mr. Davillo. Is he around? Parang sila lang yatang dalawa yung si Mr. Bragais, Mr. Davillo. Parang sila lang dalawa. Is Mr. Davillo here? Is he around? Virtually? Okay, wala. Mr. Bragais. Sige nga, Mr. Bragais. Would you like to try? How do you interpret this one if you have positive correlation between teachers' effectiveness and students' performance? Sige, try lang.
Ma'am.
Sige po.
Hello po. Pwede po mag-try?
Sige, sino to?
Si Cindy po.
Sige, Ma'am Cindy. Mamaya pa sana ako magtatawag sa mga kababaihan pero sige.
Sorry po.
Sige lang po. Ano po yan?
Sige po. teachers' effectiveness and students' performance are closely correlated, but they are not causally linked with each other.
No. Don't mention, let us not mention the word correlation and don't mention the word causal something. In ano lang, in layman's term, how do you, hindi, wag tayo maging technical kasi kung sasabihin natin yung ganyan na word, na statement, tapos yung sinasabihan natin, walang background sa stat, hindi yan maintindihan yung mga correlation na yan, very technical. So, wag natin gamitin yung word na correlation and then causal. Let us make our statement simple lang. Pero nice try po, Ma'am Ma'am Garrido ba? Tama ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Oo. Sige, nice try po. Salamat. Sige. Sino pa yung ibang gusto mag-try? Positive correlation between, sige, Mr. Bragais? Sige, nag-iisip pa si Mr. Bragais. Sige, magtatawag pa ako ng iba.
Ma'am, pwede po mag-try.
Sige po. Sino po sila?
Junlin po.
Sino po?
Junlin.
Okay, Junlin Tres Valles. Tama ba?
Yes po.
Okay, sige po, mama.
There is no relationship between teachers' effectiveness.
May positive correlation na nga. Di ba? May positive correlation. Iniba mo naman. Ano? Tapos wag din kayo gagamit ng relationship. Ganun din. Huwag kayong gumamit ng word na correlation. Huwag niyong gagamitin yung relationship. Sige, paano tayo mag-i-interpret nito na may positive correlation daw yung teacher's effectiveness sa student's performance? Pero sige po, gusto niyo pong ituloy yung sinasabi niyo, ma'am? Nayan na tuloy si ma'am. Sige po. Salamat po, Ma'am Junlin. Sino pa pong gustong mag-try na iba? Hindi natin gagamitin yung word na correlation, hindi na natin gagamitin yung word na relationship, hindi rin natin gagamitin yung word na causal. Ayan, wala na to. Isa na lang, tapos ako nang sasagot. Sige, may I call in? Wala si Mr. Bragais, no? Alam ko, nandiyan siya.
Nandito, ma'am. Nag-iisip.
Sige po. Sige. Nag-iisip pa si sir. Sige na, sir. Kung ano yung maisip natin.
The teacher's instruction have a big impact in student performance.
Okay. Again, ang big impact is very technical. When you use big impact, ibig sabihin, ang in-apply mo dyan is regression. Okay. Terms like impact, influence, effect. Okay, those are used if you will be applying regressional analysis. So we don't use that in correlation po. Pero at least, 'di ba, yun pong pagbigay niya ng sagot. May na-share tayong bago sa class. Sige, hindi po impact. We don't use that in interpreting correlation. Simplihan lang po natin, class. Simplihan lang natin. May positive correlation daw on teacher's effectiveness and students' performance. Sige. Sige, sino po? Hindi ko po makikita yung mga nagre-raise ng hand. Sorry,
Ma'am Agnes po.
Sige po, Ma'am Agnes.
Try lang po.
Sige po.
Teacher's effectiveness is associated with students' performance.
We don't also use the word associated. Ganito. Ang associated naman, class, is another technical term in statistics wherein we use that pag ang ina-apply po natin is chi-square test of independence. Ang chi-square test, hindi ko na po i-discuss yun sa class. Non-parametric test po siya na ginagamit natin yung association between two nominal and ordinal data. Okay, two nominal or ordinal. Meron ba ako ditong parang meron akong sample, pero I'll show it later. Yun po. Usually, pag ini-interpret po natin yung chi-square test of independence, we use the word association. Okay? So, salamat po sa class. So, paano natin siya interpret? It does not mean that students get higher grades as a result of teachers teaching effectively. Okay? Yung impact or may relationship, ganyan-ganyan. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, this is how we interpret. It means that the students with higher grades have teachers who teach effectively. Yun lang po. Okay, wala ka dito nakita na relationship, wala. Sige, highlight ko po tuloy to. Mayo ka po dyan mahihiling na relationship, mayo ka dyan mahihiling na impact, ka dyan mahihiling na association, correlation. Okay, just make it very, very simple. Hindi po siya maluwas na cause and effect siya. Okay, kasi minsan na nagkakamali po tayo ng pag-interpret. So, palakihin ko po ulit. Ayan. So, it means students with higher grades have teachers who teach effectively. Okay po? Yan. So, sa mga susunod po ng mga, just in case you'll be apply, kunwari gusto po nindong mag-apply ng correlation, make sure that when you interpret correlation, as much as possible lang po, as much as possible. Kasi kahit sa mga journal articles, may hiling ta pag nag-interpret ng correlation, yung kasi mga relationship, correlation, okay, association, minsan ginagamit ang word na association. But as if we want to make it simple, then you can interpret your correlation in this way. Okay po? Ayan. Okay? Okay, measurement of the values to be correlated. Ang Pearson, ginagamit na po siya pag interval or ratio. Pag bako na po siyang interval or ratio or pag bako po siyang normally distributed, we use the Spearman. Okay, sige. Sample. Sige, malapit na po tayong matapos. Don't worry. Total last, ano na po natin to. Okay. Last, ay hindi pala. Although, baka kasi yung iba natin would be asynchronous na kasi gagawa na kayo ng paper. Pero kung magre-request po kayo na mag-meet, yun sa 18, most likely baka consultation na lang po yun. Yung mangyayari sa face-to-face. Kasi we're supposed to present our title and objective. So, sige, habang kinukuha ko po yung data, ayan, analysis, gagawa po ako ng submission bin this week para makita ko po yung title saka objective ng mini-survey saka mini-research po ninyo. Okay, so if you want to apply correlation, assumption na lang po, i-assume na lang natin na pareho po sila na normally distributed. So you click regression tapos correlation matrix. Tapos pasok nyo po dyan yung job performance. Tapos job satisfaction. Diyan po sa lower part, may Pearson na po dyan. So, if kung parehas po si data nindo normally distributed, you apply Pearson. Ayan. So, kung makikita nyo naka-peer, tapos check nyo ang report significance, saka flag significant correlation. Ang ibig sabihin po kang flag significant correlation, lalagay na niya pong asterisk kung significant ang relationship kang dua. So, mahihiling po din do digdi. Ang first value niya po dyan is the correlation coefficient 0.617. And then, ang p-value niya is 0.001, less than 0.01. So, significant po ang correlation. And if you want to determine ano po ang strength kang 0.62 approximately, pa-check daw po sa table kung ano ang interpretation niya. 0.62, 0.62 kung ano po ang strength of relationship.
Strong positive correlation.
Strong positive. Okay. Ayan. Tapos, lakihan natin. Ayan. Ayan. So, makikita natin na there is strong positive correlation between job satisfaction sa job performance score. Tapos, significant pa si relationship. Actually, highly significant because it's less than 0.001. Statistically, you interpret that as there is strong positive relationship between job satisfaction and job performance score. But when you provide another interpretation of that, with further interpretation na in layman's term, as much as possible, we don't use the word relationship, correlation. So make it simple. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, kung sakali naman class, kung sakaling they man normally distributed si data, tapos ang ginamit ang kaya ordinal data. For example, itong mga data sa mga naka-Likert scale baga, mga 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Usually, ang kino-compare ta dyan is the median. Ang gagamitin ta dyan is Spearman. So, check nyo lang po ninyo yung Pearson, tapos i-check nyo lang yung Spearman. Actually, ang may mananotice nindo dyan, class, para halos magkaranihan man lang ang value. Diba, may hiling po nindo digdi, 0.055. Ini po Spearman na ni mananotice po nindo dyan na, sige, pa-check daw po kung ano ang interpretation kang 0.56. Sige, 0.56 po na correlation.
Moderate positive correlation.
Moderate na siya. Kasi isa strong, di ba? Anyway, ayan. Pero kung dikit man lang po baga si difference niyang dua. Yan. So, pag spearman naman po, ayan. Tapos, pero significant pa rin yung relationship niya kasi it's less than 0.001. Ayan. Okay? Okay, so I'll go back to this one. Ayan. So, ganito po. So, sa, nag-provide na po ako ng, ng sample na mini research, mini survey. Sabi ko po nga na ang gagamitin ng data, itong data na uga na kamo. So, for this week, magpo-post po ako ng, sige, may question po before I discuss your mini survey and correlation. Okay, sige pa-open po ng cam. So this week, maggagawa pa ako ng submission bean and then magsasubmit po kayo ng title sa objective. At least 3 objectives. To recall, diba, yung requirements natin is para makonsider natin mini survey ninyo. May application ng descriptive. If you recall, diba, may activity kayo on descriptive measures. Parang ganon, parang more on profiling. Diba? Kung numerical nga, may age kayo or score ngayon sa exam, meron kayo ng mean, median, and then you interpret the value. And then there's application of parametric. Kung bako pong normally distributed ang data, pwede po kayong mag-apply nung non-parametric counterpart. Kung gusto nyo i-direct sa correlation, much better. Basta at least 3 objectives. Okay, so pag-isipan po natin siya this week. And then, para pag na-approve ko na, pwede na po kamo mag-proceed kasi that will be your final exam na. Wala na po kayong final exam na written. Yun na lang po yung isasubmit ninyo. Kaya dapat po, as early as now, makita ko na yung title sa objectives niyo para just in case ma-approve ko na po siya, then padikit-dikit to na po nito. Dawa din na po nito alaton ng December kasi may, based on experience, may mga nagsasubmit na ako sa kuya ka to mga first week of December pa lang. Kasi gusto na mag-focus na sila sa ibang subject nila. So yan, kung may mga questions po kayo, pwede po kamo mag-PM sa kuya. Minsan kaya may mga iba na nako-confuse kung si flow ka tong kitong mini survey. Tatawan ko po kamo ning format, kung ano tong template, kung ano tong mga pasunod-sunod. Day po kamo magibo ning full-blown na research it mga chapters 1, 2, and 3 day po. Ako pong araw ka nang gigibuhonin do. Okay? Sige po, may questions or clarification. I-stop recording ko lang.